Okay, so we're going to take some time just to review the syllabus together because this is one of probably the most important pieces of information for the entire course. And I just want to review for you the assignments so that you are clear on what is due when and what is expected of you for each. So if you look on the actual course checklist, it gives you a breakdown of the deadline for each of the assignment as well as the point value for each of the assignments. And I'm just going to spend a couple minutes going through each. The virtual introduction is literally the VoiceThread introduction. It's brief, it just tells us a little bit about each other. It does not need to be as long as mine. I used it as an opportunity to give you some information about the course as well as myself. But it's just sort of to put faces to your names and to your work. So please make sure that your cameras and your audio are working for that assignment. Then you'll see for each module, there are 6 modules, there is a required reading thread. Essentially what that is an online discussion forum. I have posted 2 or 3 questions or topics for you to respond to, and you are expected to respond using the readings from that module. So you are required to have at least one quote for each of the reading threads. You should always cite your quotes. So wherever you got the quote from, make sure you have the citation using MLA citation. And this will also be good practice for when there's actually larger writing assignments where I will be assessing your ability to effectively integrate and cite your quotes. You also want to make sure that for the reading threads, you're not just posting answers. You want to also engage in discourse. So maybe post once and then wait for a couple other people to do their posts so that you're able to reply. It's also why I've required you to try to get your work done about 48 hours before the deadline so that no one is left scurrying last minute, and also gives you an opportunity to really engage virtually with one another in these reading threads. The portfolio website proposal is the beginning of this first ongoing assignment that you really want to take a lot of time to work on because it's really asking 2 things of you. It's asking you, 1, to build your own website from scratch. And if you've never done this before, then you might run into some issues trying to make sure that you get everything done the way that A, you want it to look, and B, according to requirements. But also B, the portfolio piece is putting together this website that essentially sells yourself to potential employers. So the proposal is really the written sort of impetus behind the way that you're going to be creating and designing your portfolio, what sort of things you want to focus on, how you want to organize and design it, what you believe are the most important elements and why, and how you potentially will attempt to put it all together. The software evaluation is just as it sounds. You're going to choose software that would be used to teach in a school today, something that is educationally valuable, and you will evaluate it based on a scale that I have provided for you. The next assignment is actually quite fun. It's a little bit about online security, and you'll just play these 3 online security games that also sort of remind you of ways to stay secure, and then you'll take screenshots of having completed those games and upload them. The basic portfolio site creation is after you've had some time to decide how you want to put your portfolio together and you've played around a little bit with some portfolio website creating tools, you actually build your basic portfolio website. So you have your home page, an about page, maybe a resume page, some sample work, and you're starting to build what your website will actually look like. It should be clickable. Every page that is required should be accessible. There should be text of some sort and images of some sort, but it's just the basic. It's not your final version of your website yet. The next assignment, larger assignment, is the letter to parents, and this is a group project. You will be expected to work with your peers, and what you're going to be doing is getting together virtually to compose a letter that you would actually send to parents about your use of technology, specifically blogs in the classroom, how you plan to assess them, ways that your students will access them, if and whom will be able to access them, and to what extent you will be able to monitor them. So there's a lot of thought that's going to go into this letter, and the difficult part of doing it together online. Next, you have your current events project. This is, again, where you take the opportunity to learn a little bit about the tools and resources available to you as a future educator, and you will essentially present on this tool that you have chosen. And this is a great opportunity for us to all learn from one another, because there are so many tools out there, and you'll also have the experience of what a virtual presentation looks like. So learning how to navigate tools that will allow you to share your screen, capture your audio, and pace yourself while presenting on this current software. Then you have your final portfolio site creation. So as you can see, when it's due, you have to make sure that everything is up and working. You've added all of the necessary requirements and expectations, and it looks like your finished product. And then lastly, which is again something that you're working on throughout the entire semester, your Google for Education unit reviews are all due. So that means you will have completed all 13 units and taken the mini assessments at the end of each unit, screenshot your completion of each and put them onto a doc, and then uploaded all 13 completed references of having completed the course. And then you'll have a course reflection where you're expected to really talk about your process of learning throughout this entire semester, the readings that you read, the assignments that you've encountered, how everything went in terms of the way that you learned, what you struggled with, what you think your strengths were, how you can utilize some of these things in the future. And then lastly, your final essay. Your final essay is a course requirement. It was not created by me, but rather by the college in general. And it is a rather lengthy and very specific assignment. The actual assignment is specified in an outline. If you actually go over to the final essay tab and click on SAS Core Assignment, you can see where you can download the rubric and the assignment in its entirety. And when you do that, you'll get sort of a step-by-step how to complete this essay. If you follow the outline exactly, you will do fine. It's going to take me a while to open it because I don't have Pages installed on this computer. But as you can see, here we go. It will actually walk you through everything. The introduction, section 1, section 2, section 3, section 4, and your closing, and exactly what goes into each section. So just make sure that you follow this exactly, and you should be fine. If you have any questions, just make sure that you email me. Give yourself, like I said, 48 hours to contact me and get your stuff up on eCollege for the assessment, because if it's up, I'm able to go into it and review it. I'm not going to review things in advance. I'm happy to answer your questions, but I'm not going to pre-grade your assignments. Just make sure that you're giving me time to respond to your questions. So if I say to have something due 2 days in advance, for example, let's say your portfolio website is due on the 31st, you want to have questions to me by no later than the 28th. You want to have your assignment, done by the 29th, and you're already uploading it by no later than the 30th, so that you are sure that it's uploaded and that I can access it. So hopefully that answered some of your questions. There's more specifics about each assignment in the modules where they are posted in eCollege. But again, just email me with any questions. Thanks.